Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Adam Neff, and I am back. Only I'm going to do a little bit different video than what I usually do. Now, before we get into it, I just kind of want to take a minute and say that if you guys are enjoying these videos and you'd like to see me keep making them, please feel free to subscribe. It really will help the channel grow, and it will help me decide whether or not this is something that I'm having fun doing and want to keep doing. So if you guys are up to it, please hit that subscribe button. All right, so let's just jump right on in here. So I'd like to talk to you guys a little bit about exclusivity. Should we have exclusivity in the current time that we're in right now? I don't know. Let's talk about this and see if we can't figure out if this is a good thing or if maybe we could just get rid of it. Or maybe exclusivity is something that's helping the industry kind of drive forward into the future. Now, exclusivity is nothing new when it comes to consoles. They've been doing it since the beginning. But exclusivity when it comes to the PC is, I feel like it's kind of a new thing, and it's weird. I mean, sure, you may have exclusivity between different platforms such as Windows or Mac or even Linux. I don't even know why we're bringing that up, but when it's all on the same platform, all of it basically Windows based, exclusivity just doesn't make sense. It would be like having exclusivity between game launchers on your PlayStation. Why would you have multiple game launchers on your PlayStation? Well, unfortunately, in recent years, we have seen certain game launchers released on PC. It's all using the same hardware, but your games are being launched from different software. It really doesn't make any sense at all. In fact, the only thing about it that I can really point at and go, okay, I see why they did that, is money. I mean, these different stores want money. If you think about it, it does make sense in that respect. It is a digital store, and just like, any brick and mortar store, there are different stores out there that will sell video games. They're all played on the same system, and they all belong to the same library, but they're different stores. And if that's all it was, I'd probably be like, okay, whatever. But unfortunately, it's not. So let's talk about the main one here, and this is one that I think everybody knows about at this point. That is Steam. Now, in recent year, I'd say year because it hasn't even been out that long, recently, Epic, the game giant that makes the Unreal Engine and a lot of other games, such as Unreal and Gears of War and some of the others, they released a digital store where you can buy games. There has been others, such as Origin from EA. That didn't go very far because EA just didn't have the clout, I guess, that Epic has. And then there's the Microsoft store, and there's a few others. But for the most part, Steam has been the only name in digital distribution for like decades now. And I don't blame other stores or other companies wanting to get a piece of this, but the problem is that because us PC gamers have been playing and using Steam for decades now, we have this giant library in Steam. Now, if I was just buying a game from the Epic store and it was giving me a Steam library, it wouldn't be a big deal. I'd just be like, okay, I'll buy it from Epic because they're, selling the game cheaper, and then I'll just import that into my Steam library and have all my games in one spot. But that's not what's happening. You're having to have multiple pieces of software, multiple launchers on your computer. Now, some of you might say, well, what's the big deal? They're free. The game launcher itself is free. Who cares? You're playing it all on your computer. The game launcher's free. What's the big deal? Well, it's annoying. That's what the big deal is. I don't want my games spread out between 3 different launchers. You know, and this, let me bring this up real quick. This has actually been an issue for me because when I started this video, I suddenly remembered I had a game that I purchased on Origin, EA's version of the game, their game launcher, and it was Titanfall, and I completely forgot about it. Why? Because I don't use Origin. I use Steam. And Epic released, but I don't have any games on Epic. I have no reason to even download Epic, the Epic Game Launcher, which is a stupid name. Well, Epic thought about this. They actually came up with a strategy to pull customers away from Steam. I mean, it doesn't really pull me away from Steam. It just forces me to use their software, which in itself is so frustrating. I can't even stand it. You're forcing me to use your software. I'm not using your software because I think it is superior or because I like the UI, how it's laid out and everything. No, I'm using your software because I have no other choice. You, Epic, will go out, they'll sign exclusive deals with these companies, and then they'll release that game only on the Epic Game Launcher. And now, okay, some of them will eventually be released on Steam. Most of them will, because let's face it, Steam is still by far and away the biggest in this game. But Epic has found a way to entice game developing studios to release their games on the Epic Store for at least a specific period of time. How are they doing this? Well, it's pretty clever, actually. I mean, I'll give them that. It's pretty clever. Epic, as you know, as I said earlier, they are the creators of a lot of these games and now a game launching software. And they're the creators of the Unreal Engine, which is the engine that I'd say majority of game development studios out there, if they're going to license an engine, it's going to be, I mean, they have a few to choose from, but most of the time it's going to be the Unreal Engine, especially with the deal that Epic has for them. So for those of you out there who don't know this deal, let me just explain it real quick. I'm Epic. You're the game development studio. I come up to you and I say, hey, I'll make a deal with you. If you launch your game on my platform exclusively, at least for 6 months or a year, or forever, I will let you use our engine, the full engine, no restrictions. I will let you use that for free up to, I don't know what exact numbers are, but I think it's like 100,000 sales or 1.5 million sales. I don't know exact numbers, but I will give it to you for free up to that point. After that, you need to start paying us certain royalties. On top of that, we will make it to where the financial split for the actual game sale itself is you collecting 85% and us collecting 15%. Therefore, you get more of the actual income. For a small development studio, or even a development studio that doesn't have a ton of money, this is a deal that, for the most part, they just can't pass up. So they say, sure. Well, I mean, what do we have to lose? We get to use your engine for free up to a certain amount, and you guys collect less money per sale, and then after that, we can sell it on Steam and other platforms. This is a win-win-win. This is a no-brainer. Why would we not do that? Well, unfortunately for these game development studios, what they don't know, back on the user side of things, the person buying the games, I almost didn't buy this game on PC. I almost bought it on my Xbox or PlayStation. Why? Because I didn't want my games spread between 6 different libraries. So it's frustrating me. On the other hand, competition does drive innovation. It drives companies to be better. After the Epic Store launched and they showed that the financial split for the income was going to be 85-15, Steam changed theirs from, I think it was 70-30, they changed theirs to 85-15 to match. That was a positive thing that came from that competition. Now, as far as a UI is concerned, which is really the only other thing that you can, compete over, I would much prefer Steam over EA's Epic Store launcher, Epic Game Store, whatever the hell it's called. I would much prefer Steam. Not because Steam's layout is way better or because it runs so much lighter in the background or it's so good looking. No, there's really not a whole lot of difference between the two. Epic, for the most part, did just copy what other game launchers have done. And then after that, Steam actually started copying them. It was ridiculous. But for the most part, there is a plus and a minus to having multiple game launchers. For me, for the most part, it's minus. I don't want another game launcher. I want every game I have on the PC to be launched from the same software. And unfortunately, that does make things a little bit unfair for some, newer companies that want to try doing the same thing Steam's doing. It sucks. They have an uphill battle, and Epic, I guess they kind of saw this and said, hey, I've got a great idea to kind of take Steam on. And unfortunately, we're going to have to leverage against the people who actually go out and buy our games. We're going to have to force them into buying it on our store and through our software exclusively. You're strong-arming me. It's frustrating. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think. I'd like to hear from you guys. If you guys really like this new launcher, or if you like the idea of this and this competition driving innovation, leave it down in the comments below. If you're like me and it's just frustrating, it's just causing more issues than you think it's helping, also leave it down in the comments below. Let's get a conversation. Let's get a dialogue here. But I think other than that, that's gonna do it for me on this one. I could babble on about this for a very long time, but I don't know if I'm gonna really cover a whole lot of new stuff. There are a lot of things that I didn't cover, so again, let's talk about it in the comments below. If you have not subscribed and you like what I'm doing here and you want to see more, please subscribe. And maybe leave a thumbs up if you liked it, and a thumbs down if you didn't. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.